Women Taking the Lead, bonus episode number 5. And one thing she mentioned that can support a new habit is to start it during a transition, right? It's like hitting the reset button. And so we're naturally inclined to take on new things. Hello, my name is Jody Flynn and welcome to Women Taking the Lead, where we are all about creating blasts of inspiration to help you overcome self-doubt so you can lead with confidence, integrity, and a sense of humor. This episode is sponsored by Luma Coaching. Want some support to get your dreams off the ground? Go to womentakingthelead.com/coaching to sign up for a consultation with me. Now, your future awaits, so let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome to this 5th bonus episode. How has your week gone? I'm going to start off by thanking my reviewers, and then I'm going to dive into the topic for this week, transitions and new beginnings. First, let me say I'm so appreciative to those who've left me a rating and review on iTunes, because each rating and review, each new person who subscribes to the podcast and downloads the previous episodes, make the podcast more visible in iTunes and thus easier for those like you to find it. So thank you. I want to share some of those ratings and reviews I've received this past week. And we've got Allie McAdam, who said, I love this podcast, the interviews and all of the content. So inspiring and motivating to listen to, and I definitely recommend it to those who are women in business because this is for you. Thanks. And Catherine Cohen of the Together 24/7 podcast. So far, I listened to interacting with people who bring out the worst in me. I believe this is everyone driving on the road with me. Catherine, you made me laugh. Seriously, thank you for the episode. I subscribed and am looking forward to catching up with your shows. It is as if you picked up the phone and called me up personally to chat about things going on with my brother. Thank you. And for those of you who might work with your spouse, that's what Catherine's podcast is all about, Together 24/7. So if that's the case for you, you work, you live together with the same person you do business, you're in business with, check out Catherine's podcast. She and her husband deliver great content. And Jojo Mama. Jody is tackling important topics here in her quest to tackle the most important of topics, equality in the workplace. By looking at women's issues with leadership, Jody helps to move the discussion forward, and that's good. Thank you so much, Jojo Mama. And I am going to be saying your name or your iTunes ID over and over again all day today. Jojo Mama, Jojo Mama. And we've got Gretchen Schultek. I love the inspiring words this podcast brings from both the guest and host. Girl power. That made me laugh when I read it, Gretchen, so thank you for that. And I have something special today. I have a listener by the name of Joanne Bonigaba who reached out to me on Facebook, sent me a message to let me know what the podcast meant to her. And in her correspondence back and forth, she asked if anyone had left a message through the website yet. I've mentioned it in prior podcasts. It's the SpeakPipe application on the podcast, and you can find it on any page over to the right. And I let her know that no one had left a message yet. So she went in and she left a message. So I want to play it for you all now.
Hi, Jody. This is Joanne Bonigaba. We connected recently on Facebook. And as I said, I am a huge fan of your podcast. So thank you so much for your consistency and the heart and the quality of the information you share with us on your podcast. As I mentioned to you, I was in a pretty dark space just a couple months back when I happened upon your podcast, and it really was a blessing to me in that time of my journey. And so I'm taking this short burst of courage to leave you a voicemail. And yeah, I think like many women, we often compare ourselves and focus on how we fall short. And so taking this burst of courage to leave you this voice message, I'm just really also affirming to myself that I am worthy, I am capable, and I can add value by sharing my story with others. So thanks again, and I wish you continued success.
Oh my gosh. That was so inspiring to me to hear the voice of somebody who is listening. So, please, if ever you want to reach out to me, Joanne started on Facebook, send me a message. Let me know what you're up to. If you want to, let me know what that podcast means to you. That always motivates me, but you don't have to do that. Just reach out to me. Let me know what you have going on and let me see how I can support you. And if you haven't already, I would be honored if you would go to iTunes and leave a rating and review. And next week, I'll give a shout out to you and any organization you own, run, or support. Just include your name if your iTunes username is different from your own and the name of the organization you want to promote at the end of your review. And if you've already left a review, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, on to the topic for this week. September as the new year. Now, many of you know Rosh Hashanah was just last week, and if Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, it was celebrated on September 14th and 15th. And schools are back in session in September as well. Well, I'm not Jewish and I don't have children, but this feeling of new beginnings is not lost on me. In my own life, I've just completed a workshop series that I do. It's the Leadership Coaching Series. It started in February, and over the course of 6 months, 7 months actually, we were meeting every 3 weeks, and we just had the graduation on Tuesday. And in my BNI world, and for those of you who don't know what BNI is, it's Business Networking International. I belong to a local chapter, and this is an official networking group that I belong to help promote my business and pass referrals with other business owners. And we just finished up our regional BNI chapter success training in Maine on Wednesday. And this is a training to get the new leadership teams for the coming year ready to take on their roles. And both of these things represent for me celebrating what we've just accomplished and preparing for the new cycle to begin. And the BNI leadership teams transition on October 1st, and the next leadership coaching series that I'm going to be doing kicks off on October 6th. And today in my region of BNI, we also have the due date for each chapter's nominations for the Member of the Year and the Givers Gain Awards. And again, that's a reminder of completion and celebration. And also the county fairs are starting up, and these are traditionally joyous celebrations of good harvest. So how about you? Do you have things around you in your life reminding you to celebrate what's come to pass and prepare for what is to come? This is a great time for reflection, right? So I invite you to be sure to take some time to sit quietly, either with a journal, or you can just sit and let your thoughts wander, right? I like looking out a window and just thinking my thoughts sometimes. And if you're a New Englander, you'll likely have some hot apple cider, a pumpkin coffee, or maybe Shipyard's Pumpkinhead Ale keeping you company, right? So for anyone willing to do this, set this up to be an enjoyable experience for you, right? And take some time to think about and perhaps write down everything you want to acknowledge about this season that is just passed, right? And by season, meaning a figurative term, referring to any length of time that feels right for you to consider. And this is an act of celebration, but there also might be some grief involved, and that's okay. It's natural. We grieve what we love, what we've lost. And if there is grief, that means you had something really good. Feel gratitude for that. And I know that sounds weird because in essence, I'm saying feel gratitude for the grief that you're experiencing, right? But that means, you had something wonderful and you'll have something wonderful again. Give that the time it's due. And when you're ready, start to think about and consider the season you're transitioning into. What can you do to prepare yourself mentally for this transition? What can you do to prepare your physical environment for this transition? Set yourself up for success and enjoy it. In Gretchen Rubin's new book, Better Than Before, she writes about habits and how to be successful. And one thing she mentioned that can support a new habit is to start it during a transition, right? It's like hitting the reset button. And so we're naturally inclined to take on new things. So now may be a good time to get a habit that supports you and your overall goals going. So give it a try. All right. That's it for me for now. If there's any topics in particular that you would like me to cover, you can shoot an email to jody@womentakingthelead.com or send a message through the website or any social media platform. I am a click away. Have a great week, and here's to your success. Thank you for joining me on Women Taking the Lead. Were you inspired to take some action today, but maybe don't know where to start? Or maybe you have so many great ideas you can't decide where to focus your attention. Don't let stress or overwhelm stop you from having the career, the business, or the life you want to live. Head over to womentakingthelead.com/coaching or use the short link womentl.com/coaching to sign up for a consultation with me. And to strengthen you on your leadership journey, I'd like to send you off with a quote from Marianne Williamson, so here goes. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Again, thank you for joining me, and here's to your success.